Before I begin with this review, let me say it right here and now. We're not getting any more Ace Attorney episodes until January 20th, and I will explain why later. For now, I am MegamanNG, and I welcome you to another Ace Attorney anime review, Season 2. Today we're going to be talking about Episode 12, Northward, Turnabout Express Last Trial. I'll provide a summary as well as some of the main points, and I'm running late with this as it is, so let's get started. Continuing from the previous episode, the trial of Avery Richman continues on. However, in spite of this, Phoenix Wright figures out the truth, and it is from this that the truth of Gale's murder is revealed. But Nick is not the only person who figures it out. It's also Edgeworth. He ends up learning the truth, and it's one truth that shows that even America's legal system is corrupt. Somewhat. So yeah, we finally reached the conclusion of this arc, and here, boy, it gets really messy. But I am going to commend this episode for what it is, being that it's an anime original arc. I truthfully liked it. I really did. This episode cements that, yeah, Nick is a guy that knows how to figure out situations from the smallest details. And the only reason he was able to figure everything out was mostly due to the fact that, well, because of Gumshoe. Gumshoe comes in and gives Nick what he needs to be able to figure this out. And because of that, we're also finally able to reveal the truth about what really happened to the victim. And it goes back to a year ago where Avery Richman was convicted. Turns out that it was Rick who murdered Gale Gaelic. But truth is, Rick was simply an accomplice and nothing else. It was the prosecutor, Saiga. Yep, the same prosecutor that Phoenix Wright was battling throughout this arc. Saiga was in fact responsible, but his reasoning behind it is twofold. First, one of the reasons was to get Richmond out of the country, and we eventually learned that Rick was in fact working with the American legal system to get Avery Richman convicted. But it's a lot more. The victim, Gale Gaelic, was in fact an assassin hired by a council, and all this turns out to be a serious conspiracy. A major conspiracy. And this episode shows why it happened. Why all this happened. Why Saiga murdered Gale. And it was for the sake of silencing him for good. There was just one little hitch in the plan. He did not expect that the hijacking and the trial to happen. He didn't expect that to happen, and that threw his plans off the rails. But hey, it at least gives Phoenix a chance to shine. Same for Edgeworth. And boy, seeing Nick and Edgeworth take down Saiga was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, the breakdown was a highlight for me personally, since this guy finally gets what he deserves. And what he deserves is more satisfying than anything else. I mean that for a fact. But yeah, this episode did bring a satisfying end of the arc. And the ending really did surprise me. But what really did surprise me, like I said, was in fact the ending. And you thought we would get a non-guilty verdict, right? And everything's all hunky-dory. Nope. Richmond decides to go for the if I go down, I'm taking you with me sort of thing. Except he wants to take himself. He would prefer to die than to live, especially after everything that had happened to him over a year ago. And yeah, even though the law system is perfect, it's a bit flawed. Like Javier has said in Apollo Justice, the law isn't perfect. Law isn't definite. It's full of contradictions. And it shows. And to prove it, the chief prosecutor actually went ahead and said that yes, he will be given a fair retrial. This time, and the truth would finally be revealed. That was more than enough to convince them that maybe what he did just wasn't worth it. And yeah, it was a pretty satisfying way to end it. At least now things will be better for Mr. Avery Richman. And for this entire arc alone. The arc I felt had some promise at the beginning. And then it kind of sputtered a bit, and the ending itself was rather satisfying. Really did like it a lot. My final score is an 8. A pretty solid episode, and everyone got to do their part. Whether it be Gumshoe, Edgeworth, Nick, etc. It was truly a delight. A pretty impressive episode, and pretty good. And for an anime original arc, it was nice. Yeah, I did mention in the beginning that we would not be getting any more Ace Attorney episodes until January 20th. Do you want to know why is that? That answer is very simple. Turnabout memories. Yeah, we're going to flashback territory, and it's going to be focusing on the first case of Trials and Tribulations. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that this is going to be a half-hour episode, right? Remember what I mentioned that we were getting a 1-hour OVA? Well, guess what? We're getting a 1-hour special. That's right, a 1-hour special that's actually going to show me a second trial. Now, I only hope that when Turnabout Beginnings does come, please make it at least be like two parts. Don't rush through it, because we're now reaching the point where the good stuff comes, where many consider this game, Trials and Tribulations, to be one of the best of the Ace Attorney series. And believe me, when you're trying to make an anime adaptation around it, you don't want to screw it up. You really don't, trust me. I only hope that they don't screw up Bridge to the Turnabout, because if they do, I'm going to be angry, and I will spare no expense in making it be a brutal review at that. So anyway, yeah, that is going to be it for this Ace Attorney anime review. I do apologize that if it's a bit late. I just finished Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon, 117%. I'm pretty much done with it, and now I can finally move on to getting to Smash Brothers, at least. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell. Doing it all helps me out to my benefit. And also don't forget to support me on Patreon. All it takes is $1 a month. Just saying. I will see you guys in January 2019 where the anime reviews will resume. See you then. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. Igi'ari.